Welcome to something that you've been waiting for. Welcome to ADISHATTV Gaming Time. Today's another timeline one, and today we're looking at Crash Bandicoot. I had a bit of a look at different things, and let's say this is what I'll come up with some stuff with Spyro and Skylanders. So in this timeline, I got some, as you know, some information from this I did, and also from this picture as well, and also the knowledge that I already have about the Spyro and Crash games. What I got from the timeline of Crash Bandicoot, I will put the link down below. I will, and if, for instance, if someone actually knows the proper Crash Bandicoot timeline, if you've done your research, then you may put in the link down below, or in the comments, or write it down like that other person did for the Batman one. Just want to let you know that that Batman Arkham one was to prove Slickmoth wrong about a selling skill for Rocksteady to sell more on the Batman Arkham games, saying that Batman Arkham Origins is not canon. Whether it is, because in Arkham Knight they talk about it, they do. Firefly talks about it, so get your facts straight, Slickmoth. I know you're annoyed at Rocksteady and Warner Brothers, but just get your stuff straight. Anyway, let's get into the timeline. So, I hope that's not why it's not uploading. Anyway, let's start off with the timeline now. So we are going to look at Crash Bandicoot, bit of Skylanders, and Spyro. Let's begin. Alright, starting off with Crash Bandicoot 1. In this one, we get to see Crash firsthand, we do. So he needs to basically go through different levels, defeating different bosses, and at the end he rescues this girl, and also defeats Dr. Cortex with some bonus levels. Fantastic stuff. And then we get to see him talking in Skylanders Academy. We get to see. In this, there have been some leaked clips on YouTube, and well, let's say most people don't like it when their favourite Crash Bandicoot guy is talking, which I didn't mind in this one because we get to see him from being a quiet guy to be a guy that actually has a voice, so I thought that was quite good. Crash Bandicoot 2. In this one, we get to start off seeing that it goes from Crash Bandicoot 1, from Crash defeating Cortex. He's falling down to a cave and he finds the crystal, and then he manipulates Crash into helping him, and then at the end he finds out that he's evil, and then he defeats him, and then it moves on to the other one. Just to go back to the Skylanders one, that's the first time that Crash meets Spyro, or maybe it's from the future. Ooh. Just throwing that out there as a bit of a theory. And then you've got Crash Bandicoot 3, which continues from Crash Bandicoot 2. And on Crash Bandicoot 3, you get to play not just as him, of course. Well, you do just play as him. What am I saying? You get to play as him with different moves you do, versing different bosses, and it's all the same, but Cortex has teamed up with Engine, and also it's basically this clock type of guy, and also Aku's evil brother, and they have decided to go through different galaxies and worlds to get different crystals, and Crash is the one that needs to stop him. And also the newest one, that's Crash Bandicoot Insanity Twinsity, that's coming out for the PlayStation 4 this year. That's also the same game, so that's also canon as well, because it's the same game. So yeah, I'm gonna, like I did with the Arkham stuff, I'm gonna put something around here, just going it by order instead of me putting trailers and stuff like that, because that took me a long time to do. because I talk and I ramble quite a lot of times. So that's that. And then we got Crash Team Racing. From this, this is a racing game. This is that you get to place multiple characters in a car, and you have to race each other to basically make sure the world doesn't get destroyed, and then you're slaves by this evil type of greeny monster guy that I can't remember the name to. Oh, Cortex is not the evil guy this time. He's basically one of the good guys this time. So that's how it goes. At the end you defeat him, and he goes back to his world, and then it goes on to Crash Bash, where at the start we get to see that the two Aku and Aku brothers are basically talking, and Aku saying that this needs to end now, and then he says that at this place they cannot fight there, so instead they go ahead, split into teams of good and evil, and play out. Now there are two endings to this. You can have the good ending when the good guys win, or the bad ending when the bad guys win. I basically rather it's the good ending, because the bad ending is always sad and it's always And also we get to have a bit of a look that this is actually a world full of something, full of living beings that actually live there, and now they're just going to get killed off. And now we're going into Crash Bandicoot 4, because I can't remember what it's called. I would put it up on here, but I can't remember what it's called. In this one, basically, the evil boss has had enough of everything else, and now Dr. Cortex, by accident, has said that there is something new that he's been working on, as of a new monster called Crash. This guy is basically your boss throughout the couple of levels. You complete the level, you face him, and then at the end you face off Crash, the evil boss guy that I can't remember the name to, and Dr. Cortex you did, because after all, a Crash game is nothing without Cortex and Crash. No, it's not. So, you defeat them, but there's an alternative ending like in Crash Bandicoot 3. You have to collect all the gems and all of the relics to actually get the good ending to actually defeat them. And when you do, you will be able to defeat them, and then Crash comes home and then sort of say the day, good! And now we're moving on to Crash Twinsity. Now I had a bit of a... this is the part where the Spyro timeline comes in. And I swear there are more Spyro games that are actually in this timeline. But remember, Spyro has to deal with its own enemies, and Crash deals with its own enemies as well. They can't always be teaming up, because one world will be dying and the other will be saving. So, I'm going to declare this, that Spyro Hero's Tale is one of those longer games that might actually be linking in with Enter the Dragonfly and the first legend of the Spyro game. Now, I might be totally wrong, but let's get into this. Crash Twinsity. This one. Crash is back with the usual people, but you get to free roam in this, which is much more better. So you get to play as Dr. Cortex, and also Nina, which is his niece. In this you find out that there's a new enemy that's trying to destroy the world, and that's got Dr. Cortex's brain. At the end you end up defeating them with a cool epic level that I've done before. Fortunately I don't have a PlayStation until that game anymore, so I won't be showing it. Sorry. Then they go off and eventually they actually do die by the hands of the evil Crash. Now, in one part of the cutscene, you get to see Spyro. You do. It really does look like that he's looking for his gems, and that he wants to find them, and then eventually does find them by Dr. Cortex or this other bad guy, accidentally sane it, and then he breathes fire on them. And that's very cool. So I'm suggesting that this is kind of like the couple of end of moments from Enter the Dragonfly going on to Hero's Tail, and then Hero's Tail is quite long. And I'm talking about the Spyro design of this, that design is actually quite longer than we already thought. Because if you haven't noticed that the Enter the Dragonfly and Hero's Tail design is basically smashed on together. And also another fun fact, these two games, Crash Twinsanity and Spyro Hero's Tail, hopefully, it really does look like they were released within the same time. So yeah. And now you have got, I'm just going to put it hopefully up here, this other Crash Bandicoot game when basically Dr. Cortex is kind of the enemy, but you've got this other eggy type of enemy type of person. And it looks like Crash has had everything thrown at him, but now he's got this. His friends have also been stolen as well. I literally told her that I was filming. If you know from my main channel, I get interrupted quite a bit. I do. So, I'm pissed off. So I'm going to repeat that part again. In Crash Bandicoot, in this one, you've got this, basically Crash has had everything thrown at him, and you've got this egg type of guy that has finally come along to actually end this guy once and for all. But also some evil replicas have been made out of him, so I changed it. And he has to defeat them, and also defeat some other enemies that have also, that we already know. Now going on to Crash Racing, which I presume that's the name for the game. In this, another new enemy has come along, and you've been transported to a different world. You have to race. You basically race or die, and then you race. You defeat this person, and then you find out that this big guy is basically the same as all of you. So, now why does this one go ahead into the Spyro timeline? Well, yeah, again, they use the same design once again from Hero's Tail. In one of the versions of the game, you get to play as Spyro, you do. So, that's why I'm declaring that this goes into the Spyro's Hero's Tail timeline. Now, you've either got this, or you've either got Legend of Spyro. So which garbage pile of a video game do you want to choose to go with? The Spyro Hero's Tail, or Legend of Spyro 1? I guess you don't want to go for the Legend 1, don't you? Because the design has nothing to do with it. So can you please just watch the video and stop moaning? Anyway. And then the game after that, now I know on this source status that he didn't really find that much that's not canon, but how can you not say this is not canon source links? Because to be honest, this one has the exact wet pillar design as it was in Crash Twinsanity. I know it was different from the other ones, but this one is the same. Now in this, a new enemy has come along once again he's basically stolen the hot old man's gem, and now these good guys need to go and retrieve it. They do, and happy ending, happy ending, happy ending. Crash of the Titans. This game takes a new take on Crash, which it seems like it's been a couple of years since we've now seen him now. In this, Cortex has come along with the same type of bad guys again, and he's developed mutants. So, what do you need to do? You need to go and find him, because he's also stolen some friends, and then defeat him. And that's how you do it. You got that other Crash game after that you have, where it looks like it takes a new take, blah blah. And then you've got Crash Minor the Mutant, which is kind of like the last one into the storyline, which is official. Crash Mind Over Mutant, you've got Cortex back, and you've got these other people back as well, and the mutants are back, and you need to go ahead and defeat this Cortex again. Basically the same storyline. I'm getting bored of this now. Okay, and then you got this other Crash Bandicoot racing app game, which takes on the style from this. I haven't played it, so it's probably the same storyline as everyone else. And then finally, you've got Skylanders Imaginators, which is still in the Spyro timeline. In this, the new story is basically that Crash, the good guys are alright, but the evil ones have basically been into rough times as of well. It seems like most of the bad guys are either gone, missing or dead. Most of those evil enemies are either gone, missing or dead. The good guys look like they're still alive. I hope Coco's still alive and Crush. And well, how it goes is basically that you have to make sure the party doesn't get screwed up by this evil guy, and then the boss is Evil Crash. We don't get that much of a look from Evil Crash, but now we do. So, now there were some other ones that were, like, for instance, I had some trouble I did, like the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro Purple and Orange. That, I would say that's canon, but I don't know where to put it. And there were some other games that have been basically retelling the story, as of Crash of the Titans on Game Boy and the Nintendo DS, and Crash Mind Over Mutant on the Nintendo DS. And I'll try and put them up on the screen right now, but most of these ones are non-canon, and also it's complicated, let's say. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I don't do these all the time. I think the only reason why I'm doing it now is because I'm desperate to get stuff out all the time. I don't know when I'm going to release this, but if I do release this before Easter, happy Easter. If I do release it after Easter time, then not so quite happy Easter. I would say Happy Guardians of the Galaxy Day, because hopefully, booyah. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. TFBTA.